Collaboration is something we'll go into on another PD, but it's a little bit too extensive to go into right now. So we're going to skip to questions. What I'm going to ask is that there's two students that I've designated right now that are going to write me a question. So can I actually, whoever, I'm going to observe, whose computer did I just steal? Is that yours? Yeah? Perfect. Okay. If we open up SmartSync Student, you see on the side here, this is on their screen, they have Connect, Group, Questions, Chat. The student has just clicked on Questions. He can type in whatever question he wants to type in. Just anything at all, it doesn't matter. What is up? Good question. And he submits it. You'll see in the top left-hand corner of his screen, it's indicated that he's got a question, and on the bottom right-hand part of your screen, you'll see that there's a blinking little question mark, and it says one question. Now, if we want to access that question, we just go to Questions, and we see where the question is. Can I just have a few students ask me questions here? Just submit me some, just 2 or 3 of you, and I'll show you the process of how this works. So, I can answer his question, but I have to select it. Once I double click on it, I can actually answer his question. So what is up? The sky. And I can answer him. So you write your answer in the message field. You'll see the history of the conversation with this question right here. Now, sometimes when you're teaching, you'll see that you get the same question a lot. These are a little bit different, but if you were to be going over a concept or there's a website you're on and they're all asking the same question, what you can do is take the history from this window and send it to all your students to make sure that you don't have to answer the same question 30 times. So to do that, you just go up to Send to All, click Send to All, and all the students will have that pop up. And it may not pop up directly on their screen. What they need to do, let's go back to the thumbnail view. Does anyone not have it up? I'll go in here. This is blinking blue down here on their screen. Once they click on that on their taskbar, let's go to Control. We'll click on this. Then that history window comes up. And this is the same thing for chat as well, as you can say, SmartSync Student Chat. This is the way that, this is how their chat window works. If you were to send something out to them via chat, they have to click on this for it to open up the chat window in order for them to see it. So, we can get out of that now. Go back to questions. So, now I can't answer any of these other questions until I'm finished with this kit. This is one of the downfalls of this, is that you have to answer one at a time and you can't skip back and forth. It doesn't go back to that kid. So, once I'm done with this kid, I hit finished, and then he is removed, and it's taken as if you're done. So you can only do one at a time, and if you're done with all the questions, just delete all the questions. Yes, I want to clear those, and then you don't have to worry about them. Not really a best practice to remove questions like that, but you get the point. Now, as I was just talking about, chat is something that may be useful if you were to create groups. Maybe it's a little carrot you can dangle at the end of a string for the end of a class if they've done well. You just allow students to chat, and then they'll be able to chat back and forth to each other. Just make sure to let them know that the history of their conversation will come up here, and anything they say you can save and send that file to your administration if they want to take a look at it. So just make sure that they know that you have their history up on your screen. And you can clear all that if you want. The feature I was talking about, earlier with creating groups and chatting, I think isn't a bad idea, and I'm going to show you real quick right now how that works. Essentially, you go into Edit, add a group, give the group name. So I'll just say Group 1. Okay. I'm going to add Group 2. And Group 3. Okay. Now, I'm going to go into that group, and you'll see there's no history in here right now. And there's no students on the side right now. So you have to assign those kids to that group. So I'm going to click on this student right here on the side and add to group number 1. These first 2 students I'm going to add to group number 1. Actually, I'll put the first 3 in number 1. The next student I'm going to add to group number 2. And the last 2 I'll add to group number 3. Now, this is where I see it would have some actual benefit in terms of group work, where you could select kids, put them in a group, and then allow them to chat within that group. And then they're only talking to the kids within that group. So they could be on different sides of the room, but then they're still talking about the project that they're working on. And then they have that chat history there that they can refer back to if there was something important that they went over. Just to show you what that looks like, there is a little difficulty. Let's just go into this kid's screen. You'll see the chat history here for all computers, and then on the top, group 3 and teacher. See how he doesn't have group 2 or group 1? He only has the group or access to the group that he is in. So if he were to click on group 3, let's just go to control and try this ourselves. Then he can start chatting just to those 2 other students. And you can see the 2 other students in the group right here. Hello. And I can send that along. So then it's just those 3. So you don't get the chatter and confusion like on this page. And hopefully it'll be more focused. And I can just see it being very useful in terms of group work. So let's get rid of that. So that's in the chat window. And these groups stay no matter where you're in. So I can go up to thumbnails and take a look at the screens of all those kids in that group. Okay? And monitor them. So again, a lot of applications for group work within the classroom. Now, let's move on to file transfer. Instead of dropping things on the T drive or emailing it out with a distribution list, you can just send out a file to them via this process here, which is called file transfer. You go up to the top, hit send file. Oh, right now I'm in group 3. So if you wanted to send something specifically to that group, you can send things to a specific group, or you can send it to all the students. So let's go to send file. Let's just type in that TechBlitz. Open. And we're going to send that along to all those students. Okay? So, I'm going to go back to chat and disallow them to chat because I'm noticing there's some chatter. And I'm going to shut that off in all the groups as well, just so that they can regain their focus. So, did that open on all your computers? Yep. Perfect. So it opens automatically on their computer without them having to say anything. And then they have that file and they can start working on it. They also have the ability to submit a file, and I'll go into that later on. Bottom left-hand corner here, you now are into blocking applications. So this is good if you wanted to block, like if there were certain games on the netbooks that you didn't want them to use. You can create, as you can see up here, a new rule. You name the rule, you find the program here. Maybe it's even Movie Maker. The kids are obsessed with making movies. You want them to focus on their work. You just say Movie Maker block. Click on it. Add. And hit OK. The same thing goes if you just want them to be working on Windows Live Movie Maker, or if you just want them on Microsoft Word, you can and say block all except the following applications, and then the only program that will work when this rule is activated is Microsoft Word. Okay? And all I have to do to make that work is just click the little box there, and we're good to go. We go down to Internet. We can block the Internet completely for the students, or we can block specific websites. So if there's Flash games that kids are constantly using, you can say Flash games block, add, And it's the same process. I'd go on the web, I would find the address of the site I don't want, type it in here. So I would say, let's go Yankees, because no kids should go on that site. Hit OK. We'll change this to New York Yankees block. Okay, and we can add as many websites as we want in here. You know, if that were the case, if there were other websites that you didn't want them to go on within the same rule, and you just go through the same process again. Hit add and put the website in. Okay. Now that I hit block, they can't go into Yankees.com. Okay. So these are just a few features right here that I wanted to go over real quick. The only thing left to show you, I guess, would be for them to submit a file. And easiest way to do that, I'll just show you on this student screen here. They go down to submit file. They click on it. They go to their documents or their U drive, wherever they keep their work. They want to send this little document along. They click it, they hit open, and that sends it right to me. Now, it automatically shows you the received files, but it also saves them for you in my computer. We go into Documents and scroll down. It automatically creates a file called Submitted Student Files, and then it saves them with today's date. So you can see I have Hi Mr. Savoy right there. So it's a really easy way for them to hand in work. You have it based on the date that it was handed in. If you got the kids to save the file names with their last name on it, then you can have it organized already there for you at the end of the day. So these are just a few features with SmartSync. I'll probably be adding a few more specific PDs on other little tidbits on SmartSync, but this is it for now. Any questions? My email will be in the details below.